your two dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
They have the same clap right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kamala protests herself in Puerto Rico. Amazing. Amazing. Kamala protests herself in Puerto Rico. You know, she's got that. She's a Democrat. She's a vice president. And she's always been a strong person in favor of protests and, you know, the right of the people to stand up and say what they got to say. Even if what they got to say is, why are you here? What are you doing here, lady?
Who are you? Can I get some oranges?
This is a hilarious story. It's a great way to start the week. But before we start the story, I have to tell you guys that this is rumble.com/JJW or youtube.com/. I'm JJ, that's Deacon, and we meet Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock, more or less, to drink coffee and talk about news and politics and start your day. Set a positive mental attitude and start your day the best it can start. And from here, it's all the way up. You're going to have a great day. This is going to be a great day.
Are Peter positive. He's Peter positive, and I'm his brother Paul positive, and we stay positive and uplifting.
You're going to have a great day. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be awesome. Okay.
How was your weekend, my friend?
My weekend's going good. Last week I was very, very productive. I got a big project kind of like hammered out at work last week, maybe two of them hammered out at work, and I'm actually excited to go in and work on it some more this week. And I have been working on a secret project, and it's the thing is, it's really hard to find time to work on my secret project because I got to concentrate.
Something that that's fun.
Yeah, and
that you need to be doing.
No, I don't need to be doing it. No.
Yeah, it's stuff that you want to do. It's what you want to do.
Right. But I have two adorable little people in my life that like to yell, scream, and squeal. Yeah. And look, I'm going to stop this and play, exploding kittens with them.
Absolutely. Do that.
But I'm working on this cool secret project. And so the thing is, I get up at like 5 a.m. and I write code for an hour, or like I've been burning the candle at both ends.
That's okay, because this is how I'm looking at it in hindsight. All right. And we all know that hindsight is 2020. That is a cliched thing to say, but it's not, because as you get older, you see that, oh my gosh, yes, that's why they say that. I'm very proud, because I think that you are heeding a little bit of my advice that I give you, and that it's not anything profound that I'm giving you. It's stuff that Harry Chapin wrote a freaking song called Cats in the Cradle, and you're not, even though you're burning your candle at both ends, I keep encouraging you, and I'm like, stop, go play Legos or go dress up and let them paint your fingernails. And you do that. And because I tell you all the time, my youngest is 13.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, she's 12. Yeah. She's not 13 yet. She's just 12. So, so I had to ask her the other day. I'm like, I haven't seen you, and she's like, I know. And I asked her mom. I was like, what's up? And she's like, oh, well, she's talking to her friends all the time. She's got her own little world. I hardly see her. Blah blah blah.
No,
so my 5 kids have their own lives and their own friends and their own things that they do, and they don't rely on me, dad, fun dad, let's go. They don't rely on me as much anymore for entertainment, and that's gone. So I have seen all this time open up, and I have all these times, and at first I'm like, I really want to do this now, and then I'm like, I want to go do something with the kids and at their friend's house.
Yeah, listen, I think if I do this right, I can prevent that from happening, and they will have no friends outside of me, and I will be fine. I'm pretty sure, right? Like, you're saying it's possible.
Winning.
All right. Let's talk about entertaining stuff. Guys, if you're here, if you hang out with us, if you drop in, leave a comment and tell us what you think about some of these stories. All right. Deke, I saw this morning and I was like, this is perfect. This is the way to start the week, sir. Check it out. Kamala Harris claps along to a Puerto Rican protest song before realizing it's about her. So there's actually a video.
Oh my God, for real. That's why that guy looks at her so stupidly.
And look, the guy next door is clapping. He's like, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. And she's like, the girl in the black dress, she's like, Kamala, you know what they're saying is like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Why are you here to visit the colony?
Oh, really? Okay. Oh,
okay. That's why you don't always just nod and get along with that. What they were singing was, Deacon, we want to know, Kamala, what did you come here for? We want to know what you think of the colony. That's their way of protesting her. After Harris seemed to realize what the song was about, she nodded and folded her hands in front of her. The vice president's trip was her first trip to the Caribbean islands since entering office. She also went to San Juan, and who cares?
Next time we're going to Cancun. We're not going back there, assholes.
Let's see. Did she have a quote here? Because I love it when she does have a quote. Let's see. Do you have a Kamala Harris voice generator? You know what I mean? Like thing. I don't know if you do. Here's what she said. What we need to do then is just supply the community and the talent here with the capacity and the resources. And so President Joe Biden and I have been very intentional about what we are doing for the leaders and the people and the families of Puerto Rico. So far, our administration has invested over $140 billion into Puerto Rico. Do you know how many billion they've invested into border fences for the United States of America?
$0 billion.
$0 billion. All right. Just bringing that up. Morning, folks. All right. You know what? Let's stay on a roll. We got some more Kamala Harris news. Kamala Harris announced.
There she is. Okay. She's way down the list. Mm-hmm. What do you want Kamala Harris AI to say?
Well, let's see if we have another quote for her in a second. Kamala Harris announces $750 million for more red flag laws. Let's see. On Saturday, Harris spoke to from the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School and announced that $750 million is being dedicated to securing more red flag laws. UPI reported Harris made two announcements after touring the part of the school in which an attack occurred. Apparently, in 2018, an attacker with a legally purchased firearm shot and killed 17 people. The first announcement was that the Biden administration is creating a National Extreme Risk Protection Order Resource Center.
The
NERPRC.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas was the shooting that had what's his name come from, the little boy. That he's a man now.
Is that the guy that runs around and is always on gun protests?
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
He was one of the students in that high school. And I'm just going to recap all this for you here real quick because I've said this before, and we've got new viewers. So I'm going to say this again. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School was the high school shooting in America that happened right after my alma mater and my hometown high school had their school shooting. So we had a school shooting at Marshall County, Kentucky, and the school shooter killed two people, one of them being my first cousin's son. My second cousin passed away. And they greatly attempted, the news media being the media greatly attempted to coerce our children into giving news stories, and the parents around here were more vigilant and the kids around here were smarter because we teach them stuff, and the media found it. And I have firsthand, I've got firsthand proof. My buddy's got his email, his daughter was there and she got one of the emails from CNN, and I'll let you read. I've read what it says, and it's very neat because I love words and I love being able to say things and make you think of things without me saying them. That's what we do in morning radio and stuff. So I didn't mean to make this take very long.
No, that's okay.
So anyway,
this is important.
what I'm getting to is that CNN realized, or CNN, the media realized very quickly that here in Western Kentucky, they were not going to get a gun narrative story because that is what they were kind of trying to push. And most of the people, if we're not hunters, we support, conservation. It's not hunting because, it truly is conservation. If we did not go deer hunting around here, oh my God, everyone has hit a deer around here once in their freaking life.
Right.
So, so this happened about 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, a month later.
So the news media couldn't get the vampire story that they wanted to like, everybody's a friend.
Completely forgot about. And granted, 17-2, understandable. This one's going to stick out a little bit more. It's not a contest or anything, but I'm trying to point to you what the media was doing because I saw it firsthand.
They were actively trying to shape the narrative of guns are bad. Everybody should get on board with nobody having guns.
And they realize that this is a community that
when it's actually upset crazy people are bad and they will do violent things. Right? I mean,
well, there's the recap on Marjorie Stoneman Douglas that you may not know.
Now, what VP Harris is saying is that red flag laws are designed to allow communities a vehicle through which they can share and have someone share information about concern about a potential danger or the crying out of help of an individual, and let's give that to them before the tragedy occurs. That's not what it is. A red flag law is so you can say, hey, that person's crazy. They shouldn't have a gun. And then the state authorities, whatever, have the legal justification to deny that person their Second Amendment rights until there's no outcome of that. There's no way to remediate that. If somebody says, if your ex-girlfriend's like, oh, he's nuts, he shouldn't have guns, red flag. Oh, well, damn. Okay, can I get my guns back, Judge? No, you're gonna have to go through a course. I guess we're gonna have to invent a course for you to go through, and then you can dance through a bunch of hoops, and then it's a means for you to strip away that. Now, crazy people are the problem, for sure. That's the problem, and that's the thing. But I mean,
everybody will agree with that statement. The definition of that word. This is where we get into. I've noticed a lot more in life because I say this sentence. I was like, well, it depends on how you define blank. As a joke sentence, I'll say that sometimes. Well, that depends on how you define blank. I started thinking about it not too long ago, and I was like, people do really. That's a problem in our society, is because we are literally rewriting history and definitions and shit right before people's eyes. And the sheep of there's always the sheep, and they're going to immediately latch on because they want to be a part of something and they want to be cool and it spreads, and then pretty soon it's fact.
I mean, so there's a part of the story that they didn't that we didn't get to yet. So VP Harris did not mention that California adopted red flag laws in 2014, and she also did not mention that FBI data indicates that California led the nation in active shooter incidents in 2021. So 7 years after having red flag laws, they had the most active shooters. So red flag laws, at least as currently pitched, don't really work. I mean, like, okay, I'm not a big fan. I mean, like, I don't really know about like insane asylums and stuff like that, but the country used to have like places to put crazy people, right? And give them actual therapy. Do we have those anymore? Do you have any idea? Is there like nut houses?
Yeah. I mean, I
don't know.
No,
they don't call them that. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's one in Hopkinsville. It's Hopkinsville, Kentucky. We always say sent to the loony bin in Hopkinsville is what they always said back in the day, or the nut house, the mental institution, whatever they called it. And now that I'm older, I'm reading. I'm starting to learn about I love genealogy and learn history and stuff like that. So I've been talking to some of my older relatives and stuff. And you hear about. I heard this story not too long ago from a relative about an older relative, and this was like in the 40s and the 50s that had. I don't know. It's a disorder today that you take medicine for, and the people are completely fine. And I can't remember what it is now. And they sent him. He was in the freaking mental institution for like 20 years, and there was nothing wrong with him. He just. I mean, there was nothing wrong. And you start looking into American history and stuff like that, especially through the early 1900s. It's really heartbreaking. Some of the stuff that the people
they were not doing. They were doing some bad stuff, right? I mean, like,
no, yeah, they were just. JJ, you don't
know what they were doing.
A fight with your wife, you don't like her, you're pissed off, you call, you're in the nut, and she's in the nut house forever.
Commit her into the institution, right? Yeah, no, what we had didn't work, but we had because it was abused.
Back to that is what it seems like. They're just doing it legally.
But how do we get people there? How do we, one, identify people that are crazy, and two, get them actual therapy? And when I say actual therapy, I don't mean like tell them that they can change genders or that they have an animal spirit, but like actually isolate the fact that like there's something chemically wrong in your brain, and let's get you fixed.
Meow.
Yeah, right. Meow. Don't be an otherkin on the show. Okay. Oh, I just closed another. Damn it. I mean, hold on. Oh, that's the wrong button too. Jesus. Amateur hour around here. Recently closed. Oh, okay. Deke, let me change subject slightly, but we're going to stay on VP Harris for just a moment. Let me ask you a hypothetical question.
Okay. 42.
Do you remember when the U.S. embassies were flying the LGBTQIA2S plus flag last June or so? I think it was like,
it was last June.
And the embassies, instead of flying the American flag because they're American embassies, they flew the LGBTQ gay flag because they're gay embassies. You remember this, yes? And some people were not happy about it. Let me ask you a question. How much money? Put a dollar value on this. How much money would you be willing to pay to never have that fly over the embassy again?
$0.
You're not willing to pay anything for American embassies to remain American embassies and not LGBTQ, gay embassies. You're not.
It's just,
all right.
It's just an easier word. It's 3 letters. Come on. LGBT34C3PO. I don't freaking know anymore.
All right.
It really doesn't. I don't care. I really wish they wouldn't, but I can't hold my breath and
well, let me
see
tell
which
you, there
happens first. What
there is a price
or me dying.
There is a price tag, and the Republicans paid it. Yeah, the Republicans paid $1.3 trillion to not see the LGBTQ flag over the. Well,
just one.
Oh, that's the wrong story.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, that's the wrong one. But I still have a just one tiny question, just a little bitty one. It's very inconsequential. Paid who? Substitution. Why again?
No. Let me reframe because that was not fair what I did. The Republicans and the Democrats last week passed a $1.3 trillion spending bill to keep the government open because we need it open, right? And President Joe Biden signed it, and down in the legislation that they don't really read, there was a provision that said that the LGBTQ flag was banned from being displayed on embassies internationally. So I mean, like, I guess the good news is that we won't have the LGBTQ flag embarrassing America, and the bad news is we still spent $1 trillion to keep the government open.
I'm really glad that our policymakers are tackling the hard hitting turns of the American public, because there's really not a lot going on. I mean, we got basketball and March Madness, and then baseball starting up. So the American people really don't pay attention to anything else. I mean, is there anything else going on in the world? I mean, how's Russia doing? I mean, or how are they doing in the Middle East? Is China doing well? We don't pay attention because Tom Cruise may have a new Top Gun 3 coming out soon, and this will be awesome. The greatest movie ever, Rob Liefeld.
It was good.
Look, I love Rob Liefeld. That one
You
sentence
cannot hold a
is
grudge
ruined
against a guy for
forever.
liking a movie that all of America liked except for you because you won't
I'm
watch
not-
Tom
I'm
Cruise
not-
movies.
I'm not holding a grudge because of that. I don't hold a grudge. I'm not paying attention to him anymore because he literally stated that Tom Cruise and Top Gun 2 were like the greatest films ever created. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm done.
I don't hold that opinion.
I
but
do.
Like, I don't mind.
We have different standards.
I mean, I'm not saying that's not my opinion that it's the greatest movie, but like I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I'm not going to support.
What is the greatest movie? What is the greatest movie ever made?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, or Airplane. One of the two.
No. No. It's either John Carpenter's The Thing or Highlander.
No.
You're
Those
wrong.
are good movies, but Airplane is the
are.
greatest movie ever made. That should say a lot about our personalities.
Although even though that's my deeply held conviction that those two movies, my daughters are wearing on me with Trolls 3. It's really good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
So poppy. Hey, are we gonna have like a boy bands week of music?
I got the joke.
Oh, I didn't even realize I said it. Oh, dad jokes. Great. Okay. Anyway, so we spent a bunch of money. Let's see. I am so happy that you follow Scott Adams on Twitter. I saw you post this. This was great. I'm gonna.
I still think he's a little Looney Tunes on some of the stuff that he says, but a lot of the stuff that he says is pretty spot on, and this one was pretty spot on.
The thing you have to keep in mind about Scott Adams is he's a multidimensional person. He is a trained economist, a trained hypnotist, and after working in economics for like so many number of years as a bank and doing kind of like that kind of work, he couldn't get promoted anymore. And so he was like, I'm going to follow my dream. I'm going to go become a world famous cartoonist. And then he did that. And then he parlayed that success into many other successes, writing books and things like that. And he's extremely influential, maybe not to you and maybe not to normal Normkins people. He's extremely influential to the people who are extremely influential.
Right. Do you know why? It's funny you say that you end with that sentence because you said a word in there of what he is. And when people say that they are a hypnotist, when people say it, the red flag goes off in my brain instantly because that tells me if you are a trained hypnotist, that instantly tells me that you know how to brainwash the easily brainwashed, and you know how to influence people with words and body language and everything, the easily brainwashed. That's the first red flag goes off my mind. And then you end the sentence with he is highly influential to the people that are easily influenced.
No, highly to the people who are highly influential. No, he is very upfront about being a hypnotist and being an expert in persuasion.
But I'm not saying that that's devious. I'm just saying that you have the ability to understand how easy it is to influence people with words and actions.
Oh yeah.
It's very easy. And some people don't grasp that because they don't want to grasp that. But I always found that fascinating.
In the same way that you think that like media hypnotizes people and brainwashes people all the time, Scott Adams says the same thing. We are all brainwashed all the time. We are all being inundated with messages that are intended to persuade. Some of them are not very effective, and some of them are very effective. The most effective brainwashing is always fear. It's always fear. It's always like if you can make somebody fear something, then you can get them to do whatever you want because. Yeah, because we are designed to when something that is a danger or a threat becomes into view, we look at it and we tunnel vision on it because we do not want to like be killed, right? So fear is the most basic human kind of I don't know, the tool that you can use to manipulate people.
Well, yeah, it's a primal instinct.
Which is why you hear a lot of Democrats on microphones saying Donald Trump is a threat to democracy.
That's why they
be afraid of Donald Trump. He's gonna take over the world.
Yeah, and those people that were easily influenced, you see those videos of them crying after he won because they literally thought he was going to lock them up in jail.
Yeah. No. They are programmed. We're all programmed. It's just a matter of
right. It just takes that red pill moment where you have to realize that okay, maybe this is not real. Okay, do so. I've got to do my little thing.
Yeah. So here's you posted this. Scott Adams said this on Twitter. This gets funnier as it goes. So I'm going to play a little bit of it. This is a guy, Rick Weibel, explaining the various security features of the electronic voting system. And I'll just skip to the middle here. We'll just sort of watch it right here.
Boot up on here.
So,
and the other piece of evidence that I have of nonconformity is that
so he's basically going through a bunch of
on the side of it.
Voting machine tech that's supposed to be a laptop
that is used
that
to basically allow the
is used at the voting machine systems. And he was like, look, I can boot this. I took a copy of the voting machine. I booted up on this computer. I shouldn't be able to do that. Modern computers, modern laptops and computers or whatever, they're supposed to have a module inside called a trusted platform module. It secures, it cryptographically secures the hardware. And the voting system is not supposed to boot on a system that doesn't have a TPM. Windows 11 will not boot on a system that doesn't have a TPM correctly. So that kind of stuff. And he's like, look, I took a image of it. I can boot it on the computer. Here's a manual. I got this from the dark web. And you can basically going on and on and on and saying essentially that despite the fact that they say these are certified machines, they say these are certified laptops, they say these are certified voting systems. However, their certification is no good. And what Scott Adams was saying in the tweet is essentially like the point of this is that we don't have any way to have any assurances that our voting systems are secure. And in fact,
nope.
In many cases, they are not. Does that mean just because a system is insecure, does that mean it is abused? It doesn't mean that, but it means that there is no defense mechanism in the case that somebody wants to attack it. No real defense mechanism. So, I mean, to the point where like that laptop he's got right there, that laptop was not updated, didn't have any security updates since 2019. Since 2019, it had not been updated at all. So it's not the same as saying like, every voting system was hacked and it changed the results. That's not what that's saying. What it's saying is we as the American public don't have any way to audit it, and we don't have any way there's no reason to trust it because it can be attacked at any time. And you don't have to attack all of them. You only have to attack the ones that make the difference. So,
Yep.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's so easy now. So like you just said, you only, the ones that make the difference. It's so easy to make someone an influencer nowadays. There's
I don't mind. Go ahead.
There's so many people that are trying to become influencers that if you were a company, you could, or anybody, you could invest enough money into an influencer to make them, to design them to be influenced. We've been to brainwash the masses. It's very easy to do, especially with the influencers. So how much money?
That's a lot easier than hacking systems, right? It's to get people to pay attention to somebody that you want to.
Yeah. How many?
Let's say, what's
India to watch our show every morning.
I would love people in India to watch us. Hey, look,
talking about
try to do the thing.
I'm talking about buying viewers.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
How much money?
I mean, what is
over here?
Let's say we're going to manipulate the election. On one hand, we hack Dominion voting systems and do like I don't know, computers, hackers, movie stuff at it and change the results. On the other hand, we are TikTok and we change the algorithm so that people that support our political view are boosted and people that do not support our political view are deboosted.
And if you do that with TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, all the media does that as well.
Yeah.
And that's all people see.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to believe?
Really?
Because these people aren't like us that watch the news and actually look at news sites. They hear the news, they see it in passing, and they have other
Right.
things to do because they got to bet on basketball tournaments and they've got to freaking, see which freaking new whatever. It's different everywhere. But they're not paying attention to news. Me and you actively look at news. I've looked at news actively as a part of my job. I was just talking about it on the radio this morning. I will be on air in radio in May. It will be 29 years that I was hired to be on air in radio in May. I was hired in May of 1995 to go live on the radio, to be a radio announcer, brand new.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't remember what I was talking about, to be honest.
Your radio could have a kid radio. You could be a grand radio DJ. Grand DJ?
It sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. One last thing. Vice President Harris says the Biden administration doesn't want to ban the TikTok, despite signing the bill that would force the sale or ban TikTok. We talked about this before. The Congress is passing this bill that will either force TikTok to divest itself of its ByteDance owners or ban the operation of it in the United States. So the Vice President Harris says, we don't want to ban TikTok. And then over on the desk is the TikTok bill they're getting ready to sign. Like, ban this thing. So, all right. Let's see. I saw this too. And this probably deserves a lot more time than we're going to give to it. But I saw this story and I posted it. And then I posted it. I don't think you had a chance to read it yet at all. Apparently last week, in response to the kind of current probing by the House Oversight Committee by your boy James Comer, right? A man named Mike Benz, who worked at the State Department in the past, he posted a video regarding Hunter Biden and why Hunter Biden is not really being charged. And it's like he seems to just kind of slip through all the DOJ, charges and things like that, right? This man says that Hunter Biden is untouchable by the Justice Department because he was part of multiple CIA operations in Ukraine and he's being shielded by the CIA. So I'm going to read like 3-4 sentences here. Quote, this is a 6-minute video, so I'm just picking out a couple sentences. So the first thing is, Hunter was on the chairman's advisory board of the National Democratic Institute, the NDI. The NDI is the DNC, the Democratic National Committee wing of the National Endowment for Democracy. Okay, so it's an organization from an organization in an organization. The National Endowment of Democracy, which is the top CIA cutout used in our tens of thousands of NGO swarms, non-governmental organizations. NED ranks number 1. It was created to be an NGO affiliate of the CIA, and it was created to do overtly what the CIA was doing covertly and getting in trouble for in the 20th century.
Yep.
Created under the Reagan administration in 1983. And there's something called the NDI for Democrats and the IRI for Republicans. Basically, the CIA has got a branch inside both parties. That sounds like uniparty to me. And they split the spoils, especially on foreign policy. So when it gets to like Republicans or Democrats, whoever's in control, it seems like we still have the same foreign policy, which is cause wars everywhere and kill people. You don't get to be a part of the chairman's advisory. So Hunter was on the chairman's advisory board of the NDI. You do not get to be part of the chairman's advisory committee of the NDI unless you are CIA linked or CIA vetted, he said in response to Hunter. So this is pretty interesting. So we all know and believe the CIA is meddling in all kinds of stuff, but this would be a real good explanation why the Bidens are able to commit crimes and get away with it because the CIA is covering for him. That's dangerous talk right there, Mr. Benz. I hope he didn't get...
That is very dangerous talk.
Yeah,
that's very dangerous in the land of the First Amendment. You better watch what you say because
according to Senator Chuck Schumacher, the CIA has a dozen ways to get at you. A dozen ways.
Just a dozen. Only 12. It ends at 12. There's no more ways that the see. Seriously,
right,
think about that from an outside standpoint. Go visit Do Good right now and stand in Germany and look at America and see. You better not say that or you'll get disappeared. And look at that from an outside standpoint, because we look at Russia like that. Dude said something and he went to the prison they got in Siberia underneath the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And suddenly dead.
Like, so crazy. Oh, he suddenly died. But it happens in our country. And we're like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, look, it doesn't even have to be that dramatic. They don't have to disappear you. They can literally just like make you look. That they can discredit you, which is more powerful than
that is. But the CIA can straight up like make you not exist.
They can do that.
Like
also.
What happened to JJW? JJ who? Aren't you his dad? No. you know what I mean.
Yeah, right. All right. Let's see. You posted this little speech by Senator Haggerty. Do you want to cover that?
I don't even remember what it was, to be honest with you.
Okay. So Senator Haggerty, I'll just float it here. Maybe you'll remember this. Tonight, every single Democrat voted against my amendment that would stop the Biden administration from using taxpayer dollars to charter flights for hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens from their countries directly into the American towns to be resettled. Uh-oh. Deke fell over. You back?
I don't know why I did that. I'm just sitting here looking at the story, if you're reading it, and all of a sudden it just turned me off.
Your video was a little blurry a second ago. I'm wondering if you're having some internet issues. Last week I think we skipped a show because you had no internet one day, didn't we?
Network card Friday. That's why I was on my phone.
Yeah. So every single Democrat voted against stopping taxpayer dollars from moving migrants around in the United States. Good job, Democrats. You guys are amazing.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for that.
Your constituents.
And the video there is him saying that.
Yeah, that's what.
I got you one here, JJ.
Mm-hmm.
Let me remember what this one is real quick.
We got 2 AI stories.
Yeah, this one's the AI story. The very first story is an AI story.
Ooh. Beep, bop, boop.
Yeah. Beep, bop, boop. This is AI News. Beep, bop, boop. All right, here you go. JJ, you are seeing the first post simply by using the Neuralink telepathy device.
So Noland Arbrough is a cyborg. That's what you're telling me.
That's him.
I heard an interesting thing about Neuralink the other day. Apparently this is the kind of first wave of it, but apparently Elon said something, and I don't have it. I can't cite it right now. Apparently Elon said something about the next kind of major milestone will be using Neuralink to enable blind people to see.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Not just blind people who have lost their sight, blind people who have never seen.
Wow.
Yeah. Right? Can you imagine?
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah. On the other hand.
What negative is about that?
I mean, like if the Neuralink can tap into your brain and make you see things.
They can tap into your brain and make you see things with words. We've been explaining that all morning.
I know. All right. I'm just deeply at the very core of my person. It just doesn't trust anything. It's just trust nothing. So even as amazing and wonderful, life-changing as the blind being able to see, at some point in my deepest part of my brain, I'm like, there's a catch. That's going to be used against us.
You're a skeptic, though. You've got a little bit of a skeptic in you, a little bit.
Yeah.
You a little bit more than me, at least, where you're like, there is a catch. And I kind of feel that way, that there's a catch, but my other side of my brain kind of overpowers that. It's like, no, it's great, people. It's awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, I could be wrong. It could be great and never abused. What was the other? There's another AI story here. I've got this. I don't know if you saw this or maybe you posted this. I don't know. New bipartisan bill would require online identification labeling of AI generated videos and audio.
Yeah.
Which is okay. They want to tag it, and I'm sure, especially bad guys, will comply. Don't you think?
Absolutely, they would be the first people to comply.
Yeah, bad guys. Yeah, like if you had say some rogue outfit of people who wanted to influence the election, and they thought, hey, you know, it'd be great as if we played videos of I don't know, Donald Trump getting peed on by hookers, and if we add videos, then that would sell it. And there's no way that those guys would not comply with this law.
I think it's hilarious that that's where your brain went.
It's not my brain. That's Christopher Steele's brain. That's where the Steele report came from. Okay. That was his story. This is what the media led with for like 5 years.
Hey man, you ain't got to defend yourself. Whatever. I'm not judging.
All right. Deacon, I am deeply curious about this. So I would like you to tell me, because I don't remember this ever being a movie plot, but this seems like a great movie plot. Tell me about a story, if you want to, about a story set in New Mexico with vampires giving people HIV.
Okay, let's invent this story, this hypothetical story real quick in my mind. Well, let's try to make it realistic. Let's say that it's a salon. Okay, there's a salon, and let's say that all these women in the area are wanting, because women want to look young. That's another
beautiful beauty treatments.
That's another programming thing that they've done to women over the years. Is they've tried to tell women you must look like this.
Right.
Women are beautiful. You're all beautiful. That my dad made a joke about it as a son. They're all babies. You got big babies and little babies and pretty babies and ugly babies and really ugly babies, but they're all babies. You know, you're all beautiful, and you don't need to make up yourself and look like all that whole joke. It's right. It's ridiculous. So let's say these women who are wanting to look younger. Okay. Let's say there's a new treatment at the salon. Right. Okay, like a facial treatment or something. Yeah. And let's say, since we want to make it like a horror film, like a vampire,
a little bit scary thing.
Let's say they're using blood.
Yeah.
Facial treatment.
Ew. Okay.
I know it's kind of gross. It's wacky. This is a wacky story that we're creating. It's a fictional story. Right. And so they're using this blood. And let's put another twist into the vampire story. Okay. Let's say that the women catch HIV and catch AIDS from the blood treatment that they. So we do the double twist. We're going to have the vampire come in, and they turn into vampires. But right now, this is as far in the story as we.
And it's like kind of like a classic tragedy. Your best intention is to be young and beautiful and live forever, and instead you get AIDS and you're going to die sooner.
Yeah, that's like the twist in the story. Wow. So it's going to have two twists.
Crazy. That would be a nuts movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so new HIV cases linked into a shuttered New Mexico salon that offered vampire facials.
And that, my friends, is exactly what happened. We did not make that up. I was telling you what NBC News is going to tell you in that article.
Let me help you, ladies, a little bit. Let's do a role play. Hey, Sally, do you want to go to the salon? Yeah, that sounds great. They've got this new thing where they rub blood on your face. Nah, fuck that. I'm out.
No, you go on. I'm good. Oh, I'm good. What is wrong with people?
They don't watch the show, and they don't subscribe, and they don't like the show.
People is that Darwinism has not caught up with the population.
Darwinism.
The stupid bird is the one that gets eaten. The smart ones are the ones that live.
that was perhaps true in nature, but humans have evolved to the point where we can keep the dumb alive and then reproduce with them more. So who's stupid for real?
I guess that's true. Good point.
All right. Do you have any music? What's our music theme this week, sir?
I did not put a music song in today. I've been so busy with everything that happened over the weekend. Oh, I want to show you this real quick. What happened over the weekend? Our little radio station here, we do basketball for this little county that's next door to us called Lyon County, Kentucky. And we've been doing basketball for them for a long time. It's a little school.
I saw you and Dave talking about this.
Yeah, it's like 300 kids in this school. All right. It's a little public school. They won the Kentucky State Boys Championship in basketball over the weekend. These 3 kids that have played together are unfreaking believable. One of the best basketball teams I've ever seen. The one main kid was the coach's son is Kentucky Mr. Basketball, highest scoring points in the state of Kentucky. He holds the record, broke the 60-year-old record this year. He scored like 5,500 points in his high school basketball career. 5,500 points playing basketball in high school. As a high schooler, he started in 7th grade. Like he was so good.
A lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. I think it was 5,500 points. I don't remember. It's way up there. I wanted to show you this. This was just after let me look that up. It might be 35.
Okay.
I might be saying that wrong. I wanted to show you this. This was after, that's him, Travis Perry. I wanted to show you just this. I thought you would really like this.
Okay.
And play. Is it not going to play now? Hang on. Let me refresh it. Maybe that's what.
You got an ad blocker or something?
Hang on. All right, let me try it again. Yeah.
Tell us the story of the bricks. Are they bricks?
Those bricks.
Yeah, so our strength coach, Coach Tom Royakers, has been, he's been with us forever, and he's good about keeping us in the gym, but more importantly, keeping us level-headed. And I've said many times, there's a lot bigger things than basketball. Life is a lot bigger than basketball, and so I don't know which one's which, but one of them is 7 and one of them is G to G. So the 7, we do everything in sets of 7. The last number, we do our push-ups, our core workout every day in 7, because that's God's number, so that's what we try to honor. And then the G to G is glory to God. That's something we always try to keep in perspective. And we're very blessed as a team, as individuals, even off the basketball court, we're really blessed. And so I think it's important that we use our platform and also just recognize every day that we wouldn't be anywhere without God, without His favor. So yeah, He keeps that in our heads every day. He's yelling it at us. We can get off a set of core if we can answer a hard question from the Bible. So just stuff like that is, I think it's been really important to get us here. I feel like we're really in tune with that, and He knows how important it is, and I think we're starting to understand it a little bit as well.
Isn't that great?
That's pretty interesting.
They can get out of their course sets and stuff if they answer a hard question from the Bible, is what he said.
Yeah. But not just that, like the fact that this is a high school coach.
Yeah.
In today's political environment where I can imagine him being like attacked and the school being pressured to get rid of him for
not around here.
Stuff like
yeah.
Wow.
Around here it's very admired.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Okay, that's super interesting.
I thought you would like that. They won. It was fantastic. I've been behind the board. Like I always said, it's my audio painting that you're listening to. I'm the one that paints the audio picture, and my paint and my brush are the guy talking, is the guy that you hear. That's what you see. You see the paint. He's my paint, Aaron Clayton. And he's one of the best, man. He makes some best basketball calls. But everything else, the commercials, the little bumpers, the music, everything else is what I have contributed to the painting. So when it's done, I am the artist. With the painting that you look at is the voice, is the Aaron. And he's what, you know what I mean? So I always
Yeah.
look at it like I'm the artist. We have our sales manager who makes sure that we do get on the air. And then we've got our executive director, Sherry, that makes sure all three things are working in order. And that's,
And so you were doing these games over the weekend. How many games?
Friday. We had one Friday after the show Friday, and that's the one I was scrambling with. And then they won, and that was the Elite Eight. That took them to the final 4 games Saturday morning. And then they had a final. No, that was the final 4. Final 4. And then they had final 4 games Saturday morning, and they won, beating the number 1 team in the state and the number 19 team in the nation, and they beat them. And then they went to the final game Saturday night. So I was busy all day, and in the breaks between the games,
the whole time.
Yeah, and in the breaks between the games, I am taking the clips and making stuff and making little things to play and to make it sound good. So it's been a busy freaking weekend here, with me. But I wanted to play that for you. That was a big deal in our area, man.
That's pretty cool, really. It really is.
Yeah. You don't see that.
All right, folks. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And for listening to this entire show, you are going to be rewarded not with just a joke, but probably one of the best dad jokes you're going to hear all day. And Deacon, look at this. I'm not using the cards. I went and got a book.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
Deacon, why did the robber wash his clothes before he ran away with the loot?
He wanted a clean getaway.
Yes, he did.
That book is even worse. Look, what I want you to do is open that book, and on the first couple of pages, there'll be a bunch of numbers, and I want you to see what 1980. What's the last number on that copyright?
Hold on, let me find out.
Because it's definitely 1980.
No, 2010.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, okay, 2010. Okay.
2010. Laugh out loud jokes.
Okay.
For kids.
That's dedication. It truly is. You went out and bought a book. I'm proud of you. First steps.
That's right.
First steps. I was surprised to learn recently that I weigh 0 milligrams.
What?
Yeah, I was like, OMG. OMG. OMG.
Okay. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow morning, which is Tuesday at 8:00. And we won't be late.
We weren't late today. Time is subjective. It's all an illusion.
It's imaginary.
Talking heads lying left and right.
Damn it, restream.
Facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teeth. Tune in now to your To That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today.
Oh, yeah.
Two Dads is my favorite show.